Hello and welcome to another episode of Kwesi's Corner with me, the so-called Kwesi. So, today we will be talking about different snare heads, different sounds, what they do. For those of you who switch heads regularly and experiment, I don't expect you to know any less about this than what I'm about to show you. But for those of you who are looking for a good head, pause to try out, then this might be the video for you. I'm going to try out a few on this snare, and you're going to see more of this up next. So today we're going to be dealing with some essential Remo heads that you could be trying out. We'd like to take this time to just acknowledge the passing of the late great Remo Belly, who was the founder and owner, and for a long time CEO of Remo, and obviously through him came a lot of breakthroughs. For those of you who don't use Remo, they did a lot of good stuff. I used to use Remo back in the day, so we would like to just extend our gratitude to Remo Belly for making such good heads. So today it's just a Ludwig Acrolite snare. This is not a new one, this is an older one. Don't ask me how old it is, you'll see it in the video eventually. And we've got some Bosphorus Master Series hats and a Yamaha Stage Custom bass drum. So you'll see that in the videos being played alongside it. So first off, we're going to be dealing with the Ambassador coated head. So I'm going to do my legendary Hawaii reading. The Ambassador coated is the most popular drum head in the world, featuring the perfect combination of warm, open tones with bright attack and controlled sustain. Constructed with one-ply 10mm coated film, Ambassador coated heads are the industry standard for all applications. Available in size 6 to 40. I don't think there's anybody who hasn't used an Ambassador at some time in their lives. There has to be a very small number of people who have never used an Ambassador before at some point, even to try it on someone else's snare or to have a touch of it. You can smack that on near enough any snare drum head, and as it says in the little bump I read, you can get good warm tones from that. Nothing too kind of out of the ordinary about this. It's a head. It's been refined, tweaked a little bit over the years, but it's been the same head that it's always been. So that's what you're getting, folks. Good all-rounder. Okay, so once again we have another skin for you. It's the Powerstoke 3 coated, and yet again I'm going to use my legendary reading skills. The Powerstoke 3 coated features focused mid and low tones with subtle attack, constructed with one-ply 10mm coated film with a 3mm inlay for the toms and snares, and 10mm inlay for the bass drum heads. Powerstoke 3 coated provide a perfect balance of response to tone and control, available in 6 to 28. For those of you who are basically looking to have a little bit more fatness and controlled overtones when you're hitting the drum, especially for you harder hitters, or for those of you who are playing some funk stuff, you don't want too many overtones. Very well made head. two lines on the edge to indicate where the gasket starts and stops, a really controllable head, and one you can use for a range of applications if you want to control those overtones. Now, a lot of drummers do, and you can do that without sacrificing or without having to use certain muffling products, because the overtone ring inside presses up against, when you're tightening basically the snare, the bearing edge presses up against the bottom of the head, obviously then pressing up the gasket against the bottom of it and creating that kind of controlled kind of overtone killer. I used to use them back in the day, and they did quite well. Okay, so next up we have the Emperor Coated. The Emperor Coated drumheads features warm open tones with increased durability and projection, constructed with 2mm plies of 7mm coated film. Emperor Coated drumheads provide a soft feel and subtle attack for studio and live applications. Again, a doubled ambassador for those of you who want some, without the spiel. It's a double ply ambassador, and it gives really warm tones. It's going to control the overtones a bit more than the ambassador would. Some people like it, some people don't, but I would say it sounds pretty cool cranked up. For those harder hitters, it might be an option. As they're saying, it's good for studio. I'm pretty sure it is, and for those of you who know what the Remo is saying, you would agree. Controlled sound up next. Let me just read it. Controlled sound coated bottom black dot features focused mid-range tones with added durability. Constructed with 1 ply, 10mm coated film and a 5mm coated black dot. Controlled sound coated bottom black dot. Drumheads provide medium and heavy duty drumhead characteristics. Drumhead's outer area offers enhanced tone and sensitivity, while the center dot adds durability and overtone control. Available in sizes 6 to 18. Again, an alternative to the ambassador. 2 zones of control. You have a bit more ring here. You have a lot less ring here because of the reinforcement dot. So you can literally do a beat and have 2 areas of articulation in the same beat, which is nice. It's a nice feature to have. Especially when you're playing certain music that requires you to move around the snare, get the best out of it, and maybe manipulate certain areas of it that you wouldn't usually. So it's for those of you who don't just smack it. But if you do just smack it, then that's great. And then you have options here. It's a very versatile head, and in my opinion, it's a perfect head for this kind of snare, which is quite snappy and cracky. So we left it on last. Sort of stop in there now. Okay, so what have we learned here? Remo heads offer a versatile selection, and for those of you Remo heads out there who use nothing but or are curious about using some of them, maybe these heads would be of some use to you. There's quite a range to choose from, so if you've got various heads of various snares, should I say, different materials, different tones, it's a great thing to experiment, because I always think of snare heads like car tires. They wear out eventually, and you can try them out, try out different ones, see what it's saying for you, see what the best sound for your particular snare is, whether it be metal, wood, or something else, a concrete snare, whatever, you know. So, and concrete snares do exist. So, in case anybody in the comments says, "Oh, it's just stupid concrete snare, that's dumb," there is. I've played it, I've held it. Thank you, Mark Fletcher, for letting me hold your concrete snare back in the day. It was very freaking heavy. So, and it obviously depends on what you're playing with or what your preference is. And here we have a selection that you could choose from and hopefully help you out. Let us know in the comments what is your favourite head out of this small selection, because obviously Remo has a huge selection. So let us know what your favourite head is out of these, or maybe the ones that you use that help you out, and or that you find your staple that you go to every time, and maybe you could give us a few good reasons why. Might be something in it for you, might not. And thanks for watching. We hope this video has been informative to you in some way. If you like what you've seen or heard, or if this is useful to you, or it has been or will be in the near future, please do let us know, because we like feedback, and feedback is good for growth, and it keeps me paid. So yeah, thanks. Take care.